Welcome to the Outer Worlds. It's Abyss, and in this video I'm going to show you the path that I took for Supernova and some tips and tricks along the way. When you get to the final boss, I will show you how to get past it without fighting. Now remember to hit that like button and subscribe to help support the channel. Alright, so let's go over the starting stats. Alright, so you notice in body I did not focus anything at all. My strength is below average, so I can get that extra point. Now if I were to change one thing, I would change temperament to good so that we can have an extra point there, and I would take intelligence and make that very high. Intelligence have a lot of the skills that are going to be useful throughout this playthrough, and with temperament you can just have it at good and that will be perfectly fine. Alright, so we get 2 points here. First one is a must, which is dialogue. Then the second one could be either stealth or tech, just depending on your playthrough. Since I like to stealth through majority of the game, I figured that would be the best one for me. Now for this, you definitely want +1 persuade. That is one of the things that I've done throughout this game and all of the conversations that I could possibly, is to persuade my way out of everything. So you definitely want to do the +1 right there. Okay, let's go over a couple changes in the difficulty. You must eat, drink, and sleep to survive. You cannot fast travel unless it's to your ship or a landing pad. You can only make a manual save on your ship, but you can force an autosave by going through transition doors. In other words, doors that have a loading screen. Companions can die permanently. Because of this, I recommend playing without them. In my personal experience, they were dying way too much early in the game, and once we get to Byzantium, I will show you how to stealth your way through the rest of the game, so they are not needed. Okay, so now it's time to show you the path that I took. Alright, when you get to the Botanical Lab, right next to where Thomas is, you know, the guy with the side mission called the Frightened Engineer, you'll be able to pick up these apples from the ground. Not only that, but there is a storage room where you can steal even more. I end up with somewhere over 30 of them, which lasted me throughout the rest of the playthrough. This solved one of the 3 problems where you need to eat, drink, and sleep to survive. You'll see the storage room right here. Just loot the box right there to the left. There's 23 of them you can steal, and this will solve that eat problem where you need to do throughout the game. Okay, so there is 2 side quests that you can easily complete. Max's companion quest is very simple enough to complete, and for the Frightened Engineer Thomas, you can get 2 of the 3 books with no problem at all. So complete those for the extra XP and bits. Now when it comes to the main mission, comes now the power. I flip the power to the Botanical Labs. You can choose that or Edgewater, it doesn't matter. It has 0 effects on our playthrough later on. Just make sure that your Intimidate is at 25 so that you can get past Reed without fighting. Alright, so when you get to Groundbreaker, you're going to want to go to some vendors or vending machines and buy the pure water and water tablets. This will help you out with the second problem where you need to eat, drink, and sleep to survive. You can, however, drink sugary drinks. That's perfectly fine. The last thing is to sleep. And just remember, you can only do that at your ship, which is kind of a big inconvenience, but that's how it works. Just buy and stock up on some pure water and tablets just to make sure that you have enough to get you by. Okay, so now we're going to do some side missions for the XP and bits. You can do Ellie's companion quest. That will give you 1,000 bits. Now the one for Jun Lee, she will give you 3,000 bits. So just those 2 alone will give you 4,000 bits. We're going to need to save up 10,000 bits to buy the nav key from Gladys in order to land on Monarch. I don't recommend using the Cascadia landing pad to get there because that is going to be filled with enemies. Plus you can complete Max's companion quest and pick up Felix for the extra experience. Okay, quick note, if you go to the vending machines right in the area where Gladys is, you want to buy yourself a plasma rifle or a gun that shoots plasma. This will definitely help you with the upcoming fights. If you do not want to buy one, then behind this guy is a storage room. You can go into here, close the door, and then steal one out of the yellow container that I'm going to show you. Upgrade this one by tinkering and then use any mods that you might have. This weapon will definitely help you with the upcoming fights that we're going to have. Alright, so now it's time to head to Gladys and then talk to her about the job opportunity. This is going to take us to Roseway. There is 4 things that we're going to do. 3 of them are basically for Gladys. One of them is called an acid steeper for Sam, and that will complete his companion quest. That is it right there. This is on the way to one of the 3 items, which is the weapon schematics. So I'm going to take you to the weapon schematics real quick. And keep in mind, I am making this guide as if you have already did one playthrough. It's going to be a little bit easier if you've already played the game once so that you know what's going on. But keep in mind, it doesn't mean that you cannot do this on your first playthrough. Just make sure that you activate the mission so that you know where the markers are. Next thing you're going to have to get is the data off of the terminal. That'll be number 2. And then you're going to have to kill an NPC that's behind bars to go get the diet toothpaste recipe. Once you have all 3 items, you will go back to Gladys and sell her all 3 of the items. This will give you more than enough money to buy the nav key for 10,000. Alright, so next up will be Radio Free Monarch. And keep in mind, in the pinned comments, I will have a bunch of guides along with the Radio Free Monarch on how to complete that. So check that out if you want to see any one of my guides. That will definitely help you out. So with this, I'm going to start from when we get the targeting device, and you have to either give it to the Iconoclast or the MSI, or you could do the peaceful solution. Now with the different choices, if you do the peaceful solution, you're going to have to travel all the way across the map to Cascadia, fight a bunch of enemies there to get a quest item, or you can stay right by Stellar Bay where your ship is and give the targeting device to the MSI, which means you're going to have to fight the Iconoclast, which means you will defeat Graham and Zora. So I chose that route because it was right there by my ship. I can have the auto save from, leaving Stellar Bay, defeat those 2, and then move on to the next part. So I recommend doing that instead of traveling halfway across the map just to get to Cascadia and then risk possibly dying there and then resetting all the way again. So this is the path that I took. Give the device to the MSI, defeat Graham and Zora, and then we'll move on to the next part. Alright, so we are going to take the Phineas path. We are not going to go work with Sophia and E-Board. So head over to Phineas Lab, talk to him. Then he's going to send you on a quest to go to Byzantium and talk to his contact. After you talk to her, you're going to use the elevator, and then right outside of that is a guy named Maverick. We are going to talk to him and do his side quest. After you complete that, you will get some easy experience and some free bits. Along with, on the table to the left, is a Plasma Rifle 2.0. If you remember earlier, this is one of the best weapons to get for this difficulty, so we might as well get the upgraded version. Alright, so now it's time to talk to the Minister Clark, but he has a security guard right in front of it. There is a bar that you can stop and talk to this guy right here and give him a bunch of drinks in order to get him drunk and have him pass out. Follow him and then close the door so that you can loot him for the Minister Estate key. I don't think we actually need this, but I did this in my playthrough, so I wanted to include this just in case. Now when you go to the estate, there is a guard outside. You cannot get past him unless you get a package. So I'm going to show you basically me talking to the lady at the post office. You can persuade her into giving you the package. Then you go back to that security guy, talk to him, tell him you have a package, and then you'll be able to talk to Minister Clark. From there, he will send you to the HHC building where the chairman's office is, which I will pick it up real quick once we get to where the security guys are outside that building.
You know, a positive review from the minister would go a long way in my semi-monthly employment audit. Here's your parcel to be delivered to...
Yeah? Let's... Looks like your papers are in order. All right. Go on through.
When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive suites, where the chairman's office and what used to be my office are.
Alright, to get inside the HHC building, you're going to need to persuade and then bribe. Once you get inside the building, you're going to go through one more check, but that is not a big problem because you'll have the access card. Then when you get into the office, just interact with the terminal, and that'll allow you to print a key card, which I will pick it back up once we get to the next part in front of that building.
Huh.
I beg your pardon. Minister Clark's former office is currently closed to solicitors. I suppose that is admissible. Please try not to break anything.
Alright, so now it's time to enter the building and get the sulfoxide for Phineas. If you go the route that I went, which is trying to stealth your way in through the building, you're going to go run into a couple fights, which could be very annoying and difficult to get past. If you have 65 skill points into Intimidate, then you will be able to get past this guy and enter the door. On the other side is another door that we're going to need to lockpick, but you'll notice a guard right there that is walking past. We need to wait until that guard is all the way over, and then you want to crouch down all the way here towards the right and then pick the lock. You have 4 seconds to do this, so that's the main reason why you want to be as far away from the guards as you can possible, so that it will give you enough time to pick that lock. They will stop you, just basically intimidate or do whatever you need to get past that part right there. But once you do so, you'll be able to pick up the Udl Identity Cartridge, which will help you out in the next area. I didn't have it on my run, which I wish I did, because then I wouldn't have had to fight a couple of those security guards. So by having this, you will be able to run past all the soldiers, and then hopefully you'll be able to get to the sulfoxide without having to answer any questions. But if you do, that part is not that difficult at all. But once you pick up the quest item, then we'll be on to the next part, which is heading to Phineas's lab, which I will pick it up there. Alright, so when we talk to Phineas, he's going to send us to the Hope. When you get there, you're going to repower the Hope skip drive. Then I will take you to another UDL Identity Cartridge. Just in case you did not get the last one like I did, I completely missed that one, so I had to pick up this one. Now having this, again, will get you past this whole area without fighting any enemies at all, up until the end, which I'll explain that one later. From the Identity Cartridge, I'm going to show you where the Hope's Bridge keycard is, and then from there, you're going to have to go to the terminal and patch 8 it into the Hope, and then afterwards, you will be able to skip the Hope. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking about skipping the Hope into the Sun to get the trophy/achievement for Supernova, think again, because it will not work. Nice try, but no, that does not work for this. So after you skip the Hope and you head back to where your ship is, the last 2 guys in the area will fight you. I don't know why they do, but maybe they realize that the Hope has been skipped, and so now they're going to attack you. But you can simply just run past them, make it to your ship, and then you're good to go, so you don't have to worry about trying to fight them. And I'll pick it back up once we get to Phineas's lab.
Error. Hope crew data not found. Identify yourself. Error. This unit is not experiencing errors. Worker.
And am attempting to establish contact with the Hope's more primitive processor now. I am curious to wake him. Greetings, Captain. Are you... And also...
Alright, so when we go to Phineas's lab, we're going to find out that he's been taken. There will be 4 enemies that you'll need to defeat. If you pick up the Plasma Rifle 2.0 that I told you to get earlier, just fight from a range and you shouldn't have any problems at all. Once you get past these enemies, you'll interact with a pig to basically grab the passcode for the terminal. Use the terminal to open the door. Then you'll be able to grab the nav key for our next location, which I'll pick it back up there. Alright, so now we're at the final part, which is basically the point of no return. What I want you to do next is follow the path that I'm showing you and respect your character. What we need is your persuade skill to be at 100 and your science to be at 85. What this is going to do for you is skip the final boss so you do not have to fight that at all. By having your persuade at 100 and science at 85, you'll be able to pick a couple dialogue choices with Sophia at the end and skip everything. Now, for some reason in this video, I only needed my science at 80, but my other playthrough, I needed it at 85. So I recommend making sure your persuade skill is at 100 and science is at 85 just to be on the safe side. It might only need to be 80, but you don't want to really go through everything again, even though we're not going to fight anything at all, but we just want to get everything done in one shot and unlock this trophy/achievement. Alright, so we're on our way to the last part, the point of no return. You will talk to a corporate trooper and you can easily persuade for 70 skill points to get past him. Once we get into the area, you'll notice once more that we will be able to walk or run past every single enemy without fighting any of them at all. Once we make our way to the chairman, I left that conversation in just in case you want to select the same thing that I do. You shouldn't have any trouble at all, just pick a normal dialogue. When we get to Sophia, I will leave the whole conversation in so you can select exactly what I do. But the main thing is to persuade at 100, and then again it'll pop up persuade at 80 and science at 80. Even though I told you 85, it's because of my other playthrough, it came up as 85. So I just want to cover that just in case. But as long as you select everything that I have selected, then you shouldn't have no troubles at all. Once you're done with her and you get past that, you will not fight any final boss. You'll just have to free Phineas and then you will unlock the trophy/achievement. If you have not unlocked the hard trophy, you will unlock that along with this one too. And last, if you have any extra tips and tricks that you want to share, then please leave them in the comment section below. Other than that, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel, and I will see you next time.
Reasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain. You have a gift for manipulation, But I warn you, I'm no easy mark. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony. Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me. Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on. Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. By every reasonable estimate, you should be dead. Yet here you stand. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty. There isn't much of a board left, thanks to you. You've thrown this system into disarray. Cleaning up your mess will be the work of a lifetime. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells. I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you, after all. 50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But we've passed the point of no return. The best scientists in Halcyon can't save us now. I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're allied with Dr. Wells, we can never work together. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you. Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in agony. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more. That isn't true. It can't be. You're trying to manipulate me. That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word. Damn you. You are telling the truth. My scientists have been lying to me, and I was stupid enough to trust them at their word. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments, you've set us back decades. I don't see any reason to continue arguing with you. I know when I'm beaten. The only thing left to do is surrender with dignity. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care. I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell, Captain.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions all